Hello guys, welcome again to another BTC update. I hope you are doing great today. We have some BTC updates today. Hopefully you will enjoy the video. Like, share, subscribe, help the channel grow so I can give you more of this free information out there so you can also learn how to do proper DA in the future. With that said, let's go straight to the charts and see what's up with Bitcoin. So if you've been following me on Twitter, I was posting yesterday when we were dropping. I was telling basically the Twitter community to keep an eye on this orange line right here, 53,482 for a potential bounce, because that's where my modified cloud EMA is at. And behold, the bounce came exactly at the orange line, 100%. So I'm very happy with that. With that being said, things are looking good for BTC in one way and also not good in another way, and I'm going to explain both scenarios. So before we explain the both scenarios, I'm going to go to the micro first, to the small time frames, to show you what I think might potentially happen. Let me remove this cloud here right there super quick. So I think potentially what BTC is doing right now is something similar to this area right here, where it's forming a bearish flat formation. As you can see, this, you get a drop, you get an ABC, you get a B move, and then a C wave to the upside. So I potentially see this happening as well here on the shorter time frames. The only thing that I don't like personally is that you did break this support trend line of this symmetrical triangle that we've been talking about for a while. As you can see, this one right there, we broke it, and you are testing the trend line now as resistance rather than support. So basically, guys, you break support, it flips into resistance, and that's what's happening right now. You breaking support, flipping into resistance. Let me just make these kind of smaller so I can see them, and so you guys can see it clearly as well. So I put these other trend lines right here, this blue one, green one, and the orange one. These are the levels to watch out if BTC does break more to the downside. So if we lose our main orange line around 53,400, the next bounce would probably come at around $51,100, which is perfect bounce because it will be in confluence with our trend line right here, with our support trend line, which acted as support many times before, as you can see. And if we do fail to hold this green line right there, then the next bounce will potentially be at around $48,000. Now, the only problem with this downward scenario is that if you do reach these levels, you're potentially breaking out of this structure, this symmetrical triangle. Now, keep in mind, these patterns don't really have to play out all of the time, but they mostly do. And you can see the target of this triangle, symmetrical conservative target, is around 42,800, and non-conservative target is around, let me just pull it up. So let's say this is the breakout, non-conservative around 42,000. So yeah, that area right there, which is very bad, of course. Also, you would potentially be breaking this head and shoulder formation, because this is a legit head and shoulder. As you can see, a shoulder here, a head right there, and a shoulder right there. And the potential target of this head and shoulder, again, is similar to our symmetrical triangle. As you can see, you pull it down to the breakout zone, so it's around the area of $42,000. And if you watched my previous video, I did say that this is a possibility for BTC, especially with the weekly chart being so ugly and looking so ugly. So yeah, we need to be very, very careful with that. I still expect the lower high to be made. I mean, it has to happen. I think this will be a fake out. So basically what BTC will do is this, and then form that lower high. Maybe that lower high will come here around $63,000 and then drop again. We will have to see. I need more data. But one thing I can tell you for sure is that I expect next week to be green rather than red. And I'm going to explain to you why. Let me just zoom out slightly to the weekly chart. So this is the weekly chart right here, and as you can see right there, I have a support trend line right here. Let me erase these. This orange line right here is basically a trend line of support, as you can see, where BTC bounced on the weekly. So support, 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 and now you're testing it as support. So the bounces came right here in April, where you formed that 47,000 lower low, and then you bounced from that lower high and then dropped. So there's one bounce. There's another bounce right here where it was around September, where you went to 39,500. Again, you formed a bounce on the weekly, and you can see next week was green, but this week what came next basically was a rally to the upside, because your squares indicator was still developing and was still showing you your upside. Right now it's kind of the opposite. Right now we're kind of looking something similar to this area. So that's why I still expect a lower high to be made. I still expect BTC to rally in the next coming week or so. I think next week will be a nice green week for everybody. But of course, it is probability you lose the orange line, especially that green line, and then I'm gonna start to get scared. But I still think that you will potentially see green week next week. Now, the only thing that will worry me is if you basically break this trend line this week, because this trend line right here, this RSI where it is sitting right now, is all based on the weekly close, and the weekly close is tomorrow on Sunday. So if you close the weekly over this trend line, then most likely you will bounce up and then form a lower high around $63,000, give or take. If you fail to hold this trend line by the weekly close, which is tomorrow, then most likely you will see a repeat of May straight away. So the market will not give you any time for a lower high and will just crash, which will be very, 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 very bad and very rare as well. I've never seen markets just go like this. It has happened. It has happened. I'm not gonna say it hasn't, but I potentially see this scenario playing out where you see 2 red weeks, 2 green weeks, a consolidation week, and a drop at the same time. And then the drop, or basically how would you know that you're going to retest this white trend line, and I'm gonna explain this white trend line as well, is if you lose this RSI trend line right here. Similar to what happened in May. So if you lose 44.84 on the RSI, on the weekly RSI, then most likely you're going to go retest these lows around $42,000, like we said, which is the target of our symmetrical triangle and our head and shoulder formation. And this will still be bullish. The macro perspective, it will still be bullish for BTC, and I'm going to explain also why. As you can see, this is a support trend line on the macro time frame, and you can see that your macro lows are here, here, and somewhere around this area. So around $3,000, and then you got your 28,500, and now potentially somewhere here. So if we say 2 weeks, so let's go to the weekly. So let's say 2 green weeks. So 1, 2 green weeks. Wait, hold up. 1, 2, and then 1 consolidation with a drop, and then another drop. So you'll potentially be around this area right here. So that level right there. Now I would prefer BTC to close above this level. Like, I don't want BTC to go to 39. It's not the end of the world, but I would prefer for it to go to around $42,000 by this time, somewhere around that area. But it's getting very iffy. I know, like okay, maybe here. No, let's say end of year, $39,000 is iffy, because 39 would be the same low as this, and I would rather BTC have a higher low than the same low as that. Now, from a macro perspective, if you do go here, right, even though you formed a lower low here, but you're still basically forming a higher low in this area, and this will potentially be still an uptrend, because you're making a higher high, a higher low, a higher high, and then a higher low. But it's gonna be very, very bad if we go there. I mean, I want to check the indicators, and if we do go there in the future, because it will give me more clarity. But for now, I gave you my micro analysis. I think BTC is forming a flat formation on the 1 hour, which will potentially break to the upside, like we said, and hopefully next week will be 2 green weeks of rally to the upside with a lower high being made, FOMOing in more people, mooning things, end of year 100K, and then they get trapped one more time and drop. Now, I say trapped because it's going to be a short-term trap till now, unless BTC breaks our levels that we're talking about, especially this white trend line right here. That will be a trap for sure, because it will be either 2 things will happen if this lower high is formed. Either a long corrective phase similar to this, or a bear market. But the bear market, I will probably know, because my EMAs will probably cross if it is a bear market. If it's not a bear market and it's a long corrective phase, our EMAs won't cross, and most likely we will see something similar to that, and then we will have one more rally to the upside. And I think that's the road for crypto. I don't see crypto anymore entering like 1, 2, 3 year bear markets. I see it entering 6-month bear markets, 5-month bear markets, maybe 1 year bear markets, just small compared to the 3-4 year bear markets, unless these cross. If these cross, then you're going to enter a normal bear market similar as before. Hopefully, it will be a bear market similar to 2017, where you consolidate here, pop, consolidate, drop one more time to around 20,000, and then bam. and that would be great because we can buy the dips and be super rich down the road. But yeah, that's what I see now for BTC, guys. I see us holding that weekly RSI trend line right there. So pay attention to that trend line right there. You lose it, most likely you will enter those lows around $42,000 and $48,000. You hold it by tomorrow, then most likely next week, which in my opinion is the case, will probably be green, 2 green weeks, and then a drop. That's my expectation by end of year. Things can change. Just remember that this is TA. It is a probability, and indicators always changing. These are lagging time frames, so anything can move them and change them and give me more information. And if I have more information, I'll update you. Of course, definitely, I will give you more clearer outlook if something changed. Till now, this is my expectation. Formation of a flat, 2 green weeks starting next week. I think next week will be green. And yeah, let's hope the weekend is good to us and we don't wick to 51. Okay. And one more thing on the sideline that I want to talk about is the DXY. As you can see, I've been saying this. I don't know, since July. I was saying this is bullish. It's going on a bullish rally. It's going to the upside. This is not going back down. It's going up. This is what scares me. YouTubers like CoinsKids were calling me out saying, oh no, this is a bearish formation with lower lows and patterns and blah blah blah. No, it's not a bearish formation. It's a bullish formation with a W pattern that broke out with a reversal, with a retest of the trend line, with everything. So it is bullish. Now the only thing that will help crypto if this suddenly just drops again and forms something like this. Now that would be very, very bad for the DXY, for the dollar, and very, very good for crypto. Definitely very, very good for crypto. So yeah, just keep an eye on the DXY as well, because it's gonna play an important role. Till now, it's looking like a pullback might happen, which will give us that lower high as well. Pullback to the EMAs, because it is overextended from the EMAs, as you can see. So it will give us that lower high that we we're talking about for BTC. And if this continues to pull back, then maybe we'll form a new all-time high. Like I said in my previous videos, the only time or the only place I see a new all-time high forming is if we see BTC at 67,000 again. If you see Bitcoin at 67,000, then you're potentially going to see a new all-time high one more time, around 73 to 75K before another major correction. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Like, share, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, link in the description. If you want to inquire about my paid Discord group, link in the description below. My Telegram is always there. I'll try my best to reply to everybody who messages me. And thank you again for all the support and the nice comments. I read every single comment, by the way. And I truly appreciate the educated folk who follow me, because that's what I'm kind of looking for when I started YouTube. I'm looking for quality rather than quantity, because I want to basically educate and just show people that there is a way of making money in a smart way. You just need to educate yourself. Education is a strong tool. So thank you for all the comments, and thank you for also the debates that I see some followers basically some like give me some constructive criticism sometimes. They give me some feedback sometimes. They ask me questions, and I love to engage with you. So don't be shy to engage also in the comment section. I'll try my best to reply to everybody. So thank you again. I hope you enjoy your weekends with your families, and I'll see you again next time.